Ambassador Lisa Carter's initial impression of Nexus Station wasn't its staggering scale. A trio of Earth moons, crafted from polished metal and shimmering crystals, adrift in the gulf between galaxies. Nor was it the manipulated gravity that anchored her coffee, or the breathable atmosphere synthesized by alien physiologies she couldn't fathom. Instead, she immediately noticed the pervasive stares, as if she were jarringly out of place. The reception committee's leader, a figure resembling a praying mantis merged with a geometric equation, clicked its mandibles, a gesture her briefing identified as a formal welcome. "Greetings, Ambassador. I am Coordinator Vex Sky of the Tribunal Council," Vex announced. Lisa nodded, suppressing a wince as her title seemed to trigger subtle discomfort in the assembled aliens. "Thank you for the invitation. This station is truly remarkable." Vex's multifaceted eyes swiveled independently, managing to look both at her and conspicuously away at the same moment. "While we appreciate your presence, we anticipated a different envoy." "Different?" Lisa arched an eyebrow. Earth dispatched its most capable, available diplomat. The ensuing silence hinted at either impending laughter or violence. An alien, seemingly possessing an improbable throat, cleared it resonantly. "Available?" Vex questioned, its voice carefully measured. "That is indeed the crux of the matter." Lisa, a seasoned politician, recognized veiled disapproval. Choosing proactive bewilderment, she responded, "Forgive me, but is there an issue with my credentials? I have my diplomatic papers, and I must say customs was brutal, literally, in some instances. Your security is thorough." "No," Vex dismissed with a wave. "Your credentials are in order. We simply expected Ambassador Harrison, or Ambassador Robert, or really anyone from your premier diplomatic corps. Are currently managing a minor domestic situation," Lisa finished brightly, "involving a rogue AI and a nuclear submarine. Standard Tuesday fare, hence my presence." The committee exchanged significant glances, their alien eyes conveying complex thoughts. "I understand," Vex replied with transparent insincerity. "And your expertise in interspecies mediation?" "Extensive," Lisa asserted. "I've arbitrated disputes between species for years, mostly domesticated, and usually over territory or mates, but the principles are constant." Silence descended, deeper than before. "She speaks of animals," one committee member murmured in a language like melodic chimes. "Earth pets." "I comprehend," the other responded. "The question is, does she understand?" Lisa maintained her polite smile. Her earpiece translated seamlessly, but she knew feigned ignorance often yielded advantages. "Shall we proceed to the briefing chamber?" Vex suggested, regaining composure. "There are procedural matters to cover before the summit." They moved through corridors where the architecture seemed to subtly reshape when viewed indirectly. The walls featured what she presumed were artistic renderings of member species, some resembling hazard symbols. "So," Lisa ventured, "this is the Grand Peace Summit, is it? Resolve territorial conflicts, establish new trade lanes, avert galactic war, the usual." "Precisely," Vex affirmed, "although the situation has become somewhat complicated by your arrival." "How so?" Vex clicked its mandibles in a manner that now seemed like nervous laughter. "Regrettably, a key participant has expressed reservations about attending the summit. The Kitharara delegation," Vex explained carefully, "will not enter any chamber containing a human representative." Lisa halted. "Excuse me?" They request your relocation to a separate facility for the duration of the summit, for their comfort. Bliss's voice now held a chilling serenity, a deceptive calmness that veteran Earthside colleagues knew heralded imminent trouble. And these Kithara, who exactly are they? Vexy's multifaceted eyes swiveled, perhaps betraying a flicker of unease. They are apex predators, you might say. 17 star systems have fallen before them. Their very biology is a weapon, honed for the hunt. Towering figures, some 4 meters in height, encased in natural armor, they wield organic weaponry capable of slicing through almost any substance. Fear? Unknown to them in all recorded history. Their homeworld, a Class 6 death world according to galactic serfs, a designation previously held by a planet of pure acid rain and lava. And they devour their foes, not to nourish themselves, but to sow terror. Lisa absorbed this information, nodding slowly. And these monsters, these titans of space, are wary of me. Wary? Vexy corrected hastily. They simply prefer not to share confined spaces with humans. No offense intended, of course. Lisa resumed her pace. And how, pray tell, did they ascertain my human status? Your species profile, part of the standard diplomatic package. Protocol, you understand. Naturally. A razor-sharp smile played on Lisa's lips. And this profile, what did it convey? Vexy's mandibles clicked nervously. Standard fare. Bipedal, omnivorous, recent entrance to interstellar travel. A Class IRI world of origin. Average physical capabilities. Devoid of natural weaponry or armor. Classified as a non-threat. Non-threat, Lisa echoed. Indeed. The precise phrasing, I believe, was harmlessly curious, with delusions of relevance. Lisa halted abruptly, turning to face Vexy. The alien actually recoiled. Forgive me, she said, her smile unwavering. Who authored this profile? The Galactic Survey Department. They collate all species data. They deemed humans harmless. Utterly harmless, Vexy affirmed. Hence, the Cathara's reaction is perplexing. Lisa considered this. I suspect a critical omission within that profile. Information, you understand, that should have been included. Such as? Well, did they perhaps neglect to mention the fate of Earth's previous apex predators? Vexy's eyes ceased their rotation. Previous apex predators. Oh, yes, Lisa said brightly. We had saber-tooth cats, cave bears, dire wolves, magnificent creatures, natural weapons galore, armor optimized for the hunt. And their fate? Lisa's smile broadened. We happened to them. An unnerving silence descended upon the corridor. The station's hum seemed to diminish as Vexy processed this revelation. You assert that humans eliminated these apex predators? Some succumb to natural forces, certainly, Lisa conceded. Climate shifts, disease, the inevitable march of time. But those who posed a threat to nascent human settlements? She shrugged. We are remarkably adept at problem-solving when sufficiently motivated. But you are classified as non-competent, lacking natural weapons, armor, specialized hunting adaptations, Vexy protested. True, Lisa agreed. No claws, no fangs, no armored hides. But we possess something far more formidable. Creative intellect, opposable thumbs, and a pathological inability to recognize when we are overmatched. Vexy's mandibles fell silent. I do not comprehend. Allow me to clarify, Lisa said. Other species likely gaze upon their apex predators and concede there stands the pinnacle of the food chain. Humans, however, looked at ours and pondered, how might we slay that beast with a sharpened stick? And the Cathara somehow intuit this. The Cathara, Lisa said, are beings who have spent eons being the ultimate terror. Instincts honed over millennia are screaming that something about us doesn't fit. The picture is incomplete. What picture? The picture of a species lacking any apparent means of defense, yet managing to dominate a world teeming with creatures far more physically imposing. A long silence followed. They are not afraid of you personally, Vexy finally said. No, Lisa agreed. They fear what I represent. My calm demeanor. My complete lack of concern, despite their capacity for violence. It suggests one of two possibilities. Either I am too foolish to grasp the danger, a possibility I concede, or I am not in danger at all. She paused. Which do you believe? Lisa's smile was pleasant, professional, and utterly chilling. Well, given my Harvard Law degree, I am certainly astute enough to recognize a threat when confronted with one. Which implies... She let the thought linger, a sharp blade suspended above Vexy's head. Which implies, Vexy finished slowly, that you are not in danger. Precisely. If destiny whispers of shadows and a perilous path lies ahead, know that courage, like a flickering flame, can illuminate the darkest night. If a lone, defenseless human poses no threat to a towering 4-meter apex predator armed with natural weaponry and formidable armor, then Galactic Surveys has profoundly misjudged Earth's danger level. The emergency session commenced at 0400 station time, plunging half the galactic delegates into slumber, hibernation, or their species equivalent of a circadian nightmare. Lisa Carter slumped at the conference table, cradling a beverage the food dispenser optimistically labeled Earth-compatible stimulant, watching a cacophony of alien arguments unfold in 17 distinct languages. This is unprecedented, declared Ambassador Thekmar, a crystalline being whose voice echoed like wind chimes caught in a whirlwind. In 3 millennia of galactic diplomacy, no species has ever refused summit participation due to another delegate's presence. Counselor Zephyra, whose tentacles writhed with what Lisa's cultural briefing identified as extreme agitation, added, "The Cathara have never displayed fear. Their warriors casually stride into plasma storms. They've colonized worlds where crushing gravity turns most species to pulp. They triumphed over the Void Hunters." Lisa, taking a cautious sip of her imitation coffee, fought back a yawn. "Forgive me for interrupting, but has anyone actually bothered to ask them why they're avoiding the meeting?" The argument abruptly ceased, as if silenced by a switch. "Well," Vexy stammered, mandibles clicking nervously, "we assumed it was obvious." "Obvious how?" Thekmar chimed in. "You're human, literally. Apex predators. Surely some biological incompatibility exists, some dormant territorial instinct." "Some what?" Lisa interrupted, raising an eyebrow. "Some reason the galaxy's most celebrated hunters are suddenly acting like terrified prey?" A heavy silence descended, broken only by the low thrum of the station's life support and a distant sound that might have been a scream. or simply the Vex delegation enjoying their morning meal. Perhaps, Vexi suggested tentatively, we should contact the Kithara directly. Brilliant idea, Lisa said, sitting up straighter. Patch them through. You wish to speak with them? Counselor Zephra's tentacles froze, then began vibrating rapidly. Why not? I'm the apparent cause of their absence. I might as well discover what perturbs them. Baexi's multifaceted eyes swiveled in what Lisa recognized as an alien panic attack. Ambassador Carter, I'm not convinced that's wise. The Kithara's communications are direct. Sometimes so are mine, Lisa replied with a cheerful smile. Make the call. The holographic communication array flickered to life, accompanied by a sound like the fabric of reality tearing. The air above the table shimmered, resolving into what could only be described as a waking nightmare, possessed of impeccable posture. The Kithara representative was precisely as advertised. 4 meters of armored muscle, natural weapons gleaming like polished obsidian, and eyes reflecting the kind of predatory intelligence that had placed their species atop countless food chains. When it spoke, its voice was a low rumble, like tectonic plates grinding against one another. I am War Prime Keithvar of the Kithar Dominion, it proclaimed. Why have you disturbed our isolation? Lisa leaned forward. Greetings, I'm Lisa Carter, Earth's diplomatic representative. I understand you have some reservations about meeting with me. The effect was immediate and visceral. Keithvar's armored hide rippled. Its natural weapons extended involuntarily, and its pupils dilated until its eyes were almost entirely black. Every alien delegate in the room recoiled. The human, Keithvar hissed, its voice a menacing whisper. Why is it here? I'm here, Lisa said calmly, because Earth received an invitation to the Galactic Peace Summit, like everyone else. No, Keithvar's massive head shook slowly from side to side. Not the same. Never the same. Okay, Lisa said. Then what makes us different? For a moment, the War Prime remained silent, its predatory gaze fixed on Lisa, dissecting her with laser-like intensity. She could almost feel it cataloging her vulnerabilities, calculating attack vectors, measuring the distance between them. Then, unexpectedly, it roared with laughter, a sound akin to an avalanche gaining sentience. Every alien in the room except Lisa scrambled for cover. What makes you different? Keithvar echoed. You sit there, soft and small and weaponless, and ask what makes you different. That's right, Lisa replied, unfazed. I'm sitting here, soft and small and weaponless, talking to a 4-meter apex predator who could likely turn me into paste without breaking a sweat. So I'm curious why you're the one who's afraid. The laughter ceased. We are not afraid, Keithvar growled, but its voice held a defensive tremor. Then why won't you attend the meeting? Because, Keithvar began. Keithvar uttered softly, we are not deceived. The War Prime's armored shell shifted once more, and a sudden understanding dawned on Lisa. She was witnessing the alien equivalent of someone agonizing over how much truth to divulge. Finally, Keithvar stated, we comprehend your essence, my essence, the essence of your species, its representation, and its deeds. A shiver that had nothing to do with the station's sterile climate ran down Lisa's spine. And what is that, precisely? Keithvar's unwavering gaze remained locked on hers. You are the species that extinguished gods. The opulent conference chamber was drowned in silence, save for the rhythmic tapping of Counselor Zapira's tentacles against the polished floor as she lost consciousness. "I beg your pardon," Lisa replied, her voice measured. "Could you reiterate that?" "Your species profile," Keithvar continued, its tone unwavering, "designates Earth as a Class IRI world. Moderate gravitational pull, a breathable atmosphere, and abundant resources. It describes humans as omnivorous bipeds, possessing average physical prowess and devoid of natural weaponry." That is accurate. It omits the beings that held dominion over your world before your ascent. Lisa's coffee had long grown cold, yet she dared not reach for it. "What leads you to believe something ruled our world before us?" "We meticulously researched your planet," Keithvar intoned, its voice echoing with a dark knowledge. "After extending the summit invitation, we sought to grasp the nature of the species joining the galactic community. Your world teemed with creatures that dwarfed our most formidable warriors," it continued. "Predators whose fangs rivaled the length of our weaponry, reptiles capable of engulfing our ships whole, and sea monsters that could drag continents into the abyss." Lisa nodded slowly, acknowledging the truth in Keithvar's chilling words. Earth did have some impressive wildlife over the millennia. "These were not mere animals," Keithvar asserted, its voice imbued with an almost religious reverence. "They were apex predators, exceeding anything currently known in galactic civilization. Perfect killing machines, honed over millions of years to be unstoppable. They were quite impressive," Lisa conceded. "And you eradicated them all." The words lingered, a chilling pronouncement hanging heavy in the air. "Well," Lisa began cautiously, "not all of them. Some faced extinction independently through natural disasters, climate shifts, and disease." "The ones that posed a threat to you," Keithvar interjected, its voice rising in intensity. "The ones that stood between your species and dominance, those you exterminated." "We defended ourselves," Lisa countered. "Indeed," Keithvar spat out. "With what? You possess no claws, no fangs, no armor, no venom. You are slow, frail, and vulnerable creatures, destined to be prey." "We utilized tools," Lisa replied softly. "Tools?" Keithvar's laughter was laced with bitterness. "We possess tools as well. Every species possesses tools. Tools do not equip a species to commit genocide against beings that are perceived as gods." "They weren't gods," Lisa stated firmly. "They were merely animals." "Merely animals," Keithvar echoed, its voice dripping with disbelief. "The most formidable predators your world had ever birthed. You dismissed them as merely animals, because that is what they were, massive, dangerous beasts. And for that," Keithvar concluded, "we will not share a common space with you." Lisa frowned, taken aback by the alien's unexpected vehemence. "Because we are not impressed by large, dangerous animals? Because you are the species that gazed upon entities perceived as gods and viewed them as problems to be solved." The conference room was so still that Lisa could discern the rhythm of her own heartbeat. Every alien present fixed their gaze upon her, their expressions ranging from abject horror to morbid fascination to something akin to awe. "Do you seek to understand why we researched your planet so thoroughly?" Keithvar inquired, its voice laced with dark curiosity. "When we first read your species profile, we presumed it to be an error. No species so weak, so defenseless, so seemingly harmless could achieve spaceflight without falling prey to its world's natural predators. But we did achieve spaceflight, Lisa pointed out. Precisely. Which signifies that either your world was devoid of natural predators, a notion quickly debunked by our research, or that your species systematically eliminated them all. We didn't eliminate them all, Lisa countered. Most of Earth's wildlife still exists. The predators, Keithvar interrupted, its voice relentless. The ones that hunted your kind. The ones that regarded early humans as prey. Where are they now? Lisa fell silent for a moment, her thoughts racing. Gone. Gone, Keithvar repeated, the word heavy with implication. Extinct. Exterminated. Erased from existence by a species that possessed no right to survive, let alone flourish. We possessed every right to survive, Lisa asserted, her voice hardening for the first time. We were as integral a part of Earth's ecosystem as any other creature. No, Keithvar countered, its voice unwavering. You were something novel, something unprecedented in the galaxy, a species that dared to defy its place in the natural order. Lisa leaned back in her chair, her gaze steady. And that frightens you? It should frighten everyone, Keithvar declared, its voice echoing with an ominous warning. For if humans could obliterate apex predators that ruled their world for millennia, what are you ultimately capable of eliminating now? The question hung in the air, a sharp blade poised over everyone's heads. We harbor no desire to eliminate anyone, Lisa asserted, her voice firm. We are here for a peace summit. Peace, Keithvar spat the word out, as if it left a foul taste in its mouth. Yes, your species is exceedingly fond of peace. You create art, music, literature, comedy shows. Your ingenious society arose from collaboration, a symphony of shared aspirations. Mutual cooperation and shared advantage, it's true. Yet Keithvar's words resonated. When your civilization faces annihilation, you transform into something entirely different. A shiver traced Lisa's spine. What do you mean by that? We've scrutinized your past, Lisa Carter of Earth. Your wars, the infighting, how you react when your very existence is threatened. Every species engages in conflict, but not like yours, Keith interjected. We wage war with honor. We test ourselves against worthy adversaries, proving our merit through valiant combat. How noble, Lisa replied, cautiously. When you humans go to war, Keithvar continued, you don't fight, you solve. You identify the issue, the adversary, the peril, the impediment to your survival, and you obliterate it utterly, without a shred of consideration for decency, tradition, or the balance of nature. Bla's coffee had long grown cold. I'm not entirely sure I follow. Your species, Keithvar emphasized, possesses a saying, if you come at the king, you best not miss. That's not exactly, Keith interrupted. It means, if you dare threaten humanity, you better be absolutely certain you can exterminate them. Because if you fail, if even a single human survives, they will relentlessly pursue your species to utter extinction. The conference room fell into a tense silence, far heavier and more menacing than before. You're afraid, Lisa stated slowly, that we'll do to you what we did to the saber-toothed cats. We fear, Keithvar replied gravely, That you will inflict upon us what you did to the Nazis. Every alien present fixed their gaze on Lisa, making her feel incredibly small. "How much do you know?" she asked softly. "Enough about human history to understand," Keithvar answered. "We know about the species that threatened your existence. We know what befell them." "The Nazis weren't a species," Lisa pointed out. "They were humans, of our own kind." "Indeed," Keithvar confirmed. "And when they became a threat to the rest of humanity, what did you do?" Lisa paused, considering her words. "We solved the problem." "You eradicated them," Keithvar stated. "Not just their armies, not just their government. You obliterated their ideology, their culture, their very identity as a political force. You ensured they could never pose a threat again." "They were committing genocide," Lisa said. "We had to stop them, completely, and without mercy." "Without mercy," Lisa echoed. "That," Keithvar declared, "is why we cannot share a confined space with you. We are apex predators, driven by instincts that have ensured our survival for millennia. And those instincts are screaming that you are the most dangerous entity in the galaxy." The Emergency Galactic Council convened within the Nexus Station's most fortified chamber, a space designed to restrain entire planetary governments during diplomatic crises. Lisa Carter sat at the center of a circular table, resembling a small asteroid, surrounded by representatives from 47 distinct species, all maintaining what her cultural briefing euphemistically termed cautious distance. "Let's address the most glaring question," stated Chancellor Munn, a being resembling a cross between a sea anemone and a tax auditor. "How much of your species' history did you deliberately omit from your application to the Galactic Council?" Lisa sipped her coffee, the third since the session's start, carefully considering her reply. "Define deliberately." "Did you intentionally exclude information that would have swayed the Galactic Council's decision to welcome Earth into the galactic community?" "We included everything stipulated in the application," Lisa stated. "Biology, technological advancement, cultural overview, resource availability, territorial claims, but not military capabilities." "Capabilities?" Munn pressed. "You didn't inquire about military capabilities." "We ask every species about military capabilities," Munn pressed further. Lisa accessed her tablet, scrolling through the documents. Question 47. "Does your species possess weapons of mass destruction?" We answered affirmatively. Question 48. "Are you currently engaged in active warfare?" We answered negatively. "Those are standard inquiries," Counselor Zephyra interjected, her tentacles showing lingering signs of stress from an earlier incident. "They're intended to identify immediate threats to galactic stability." "Precisely," Lisa stated. "We are not an immediate threat to galactic stability. We are here for a peace summit." "But you didn't mention," Vexi clicked nervously, "that humans are capable of eliminating apex predators." "You didn't ask if we were capable of eliminating apex predators," Lisa replied. "You inquired if we possessed natural weapons, armor, or specialized hunting adaptations. We don't." "Then how?" "We use tools," Lisa explained patiently. "We've been using tools for roughly 2.5 million years. It's rather our defining trait." "Every species utilizes tools," Chancellor Morin dismissed. "Tools or not," Lisa interrupted. "Every species uses tools to enhance their innate abilities. We use tools to completely transcend our biological limitations." NCE. A heavy silence descended upon the chamber. wrapping around us like a suffocating shroud. The chamber was hushed, save for the low thrum of the translation matrix straining to render Lisa's words into 47 languages. Bypassed how? Ambassador Crix inquired, a crystalline being whose voice resonated like complex equations finding their solution. Lisa rose and approached the central display. With your permission? Morton conceded with reluctance. Lisa activated the holographic interface, summoning a star chart. This is their home system. Their world is classified as Class 7, a death world, correct? Affirmed. Gravity 3 times Earth's, an atmosphere toxic to almost all life, surface temperatures that would liquefy lead, and radiation levels lethal within minutes. Your point? The Cathara evolved there. Millions of years of brutal adaptation, natural armor, amplified bone density, radiation immunity, biological modifications necessary for survival. We understand this, Lisa said, her fingers dancing over the display. Permit me to illustrate further. The hologram dissolved, replaced by a planet of serene blues and greens. Earth. A Class 1 world. Moderate gravity, breathable air, abundant resources, far more hospitable than the Cathara's nightmare. Acknowledged. But Earth, Lisa continued, her voice taking on a darker hue, wasn't always welcoming, not to humans. The display warped, showing Earth millions of years prior, a landscape of ice, volcanic fury, and creatures dwarfing anything in the current galactic community. Early humans, Lisa emphasized, were not dominant. We were prey, hunted by beings bigger, stronger, faster, better equipped to survive. Apex predators, Bayexi interjected, like the Cathara mentioned. Cave bears capable of crushing skulls, saber-toothed cats with forearm-length fangs, giant wolves that hunted in packs, bringing down creatures 10 times their size. And yet, Ambassador Crix observed, you survived. We did more than survive, Lisa countered. We flourished. We colonized the planet. We adapted to every environment, every climate, every ecosystem. Deserts, jungles, frozen wastes, mountain ranges, coastlines, places no single species should have conquered. How? Lisa offered a smile, sharp and unsettling. We cheated. We didn't attempt to out-evolve our predators. No thicker hides, sharper claws, or greater strength. We cultivated something else. We learned to bend the environment to our will. The display shifted again, revealing early human settlements, tools, weapons, nascent technology. When a predator was too fast, we didn't evolve speed. We dug pits filled with sharpened stakes. Too strong? We didn't evolve strength. We crafted spears and hunted in packs. Too well armored? We didn't evolve better natural weapons. We fashioned superior tools. Tools, Chancellor Moran echoed, his voice laced with a dawning comprehension. Fire, language, agriculture, metallurgy, engineering, science. Each problem we couldn't solve with our biology, we solved with technology. Surely, Councillor Zephyra interjected, this is not unusual. Many species employ technology to augment their capabilities. Most, Lisa corrected, use technology to enhance their existing capabilities. We use it to replace them entirely. She manipulated the display, showcasing humanity's technological trajectory. The Cathara are apex predators through evolution. Natural weapons, armor, amplified strength, speed, reflexes, perfectly engineered for hunting and killing. Correct. Humans are apex predators by choice. We possess no natural weapons, so we create them. No natural armor, so we manufacture it. Not fast enough to catch prey? We invent vehicles. Not strong enough to overpower enemies? We build machines. It's a matter of degree, Morton insisted. Every species does this to some extent. Every species does this to supplement their nature, Laisa countered. We do it to transcend ours entirely. The display morphed to showcase modern human technology, spacecraft, weaponry, industrial complexes, computational networks. The Cathara are confined by their biology, Lisa continued. They are formidable within the boundaries of their physical form, but limited nonetheless. They can only be so strong, so fast, so resilient. But humans are limited only by our imagination. The chamber fell into a stunned silence, heavier now, pregnant with a sense of lurking danger. So, Ambassador Krill, you began, your voice laced with intrigue. What exactly are you implying? That's a divergence, Ick observed slowly, emphasizing the anomaly of human technological advancement compared to all others. It's precisely that, Lisa countered. Other species refine existing skills with technology. We use technology to transcend our limitations, to achieve the impossible: flight, survival in the void, interstellar communication, atomic manipulation, harnessing stellar power. Many species have attained those abilities eventually, Morin pointed out, his tone cautious. Over eons, Lisa stressed, we achieved them in mere millennia. A heavy silence descended. 10,000 years, Bakesy breathed, disbelief coloring their voice. Give or take, Lisa affirmed. We transitioned from hunter-gatherers to a spacefaring civilization in the blink of an evolutionary eye. It defies comprehension. Counselor Zephyr interjected. Technological advancement demands evolutionary pressure, biological adaptation, generational shifts. That's the path when technology enhances existing traits. We bypass those limitations entirely, Lisa stated, her gaze unwavering. Bypass how? Zephyr challenged. Lisa gestured towards the holographic display, now depicting the grim tapestry of human warfare. When early humans faced predators too formidable for clubs, we didn't wait millions of years for thicker skin. We invented bows. When those proved inadequate, we created gunpowder, explosives, nuclear weapons. You developed nuclear weapons to fight predators? Morin asked, bewildered. We developed nuclear weapons to fight each other, Lisa corrected, her voice chilling. The predators were just practice. A wave of controlled chaos swept through the chamber, delegates erupting in a cacophony of alarmed alien tongues. Order! Chancellor Moran boomed, his voice strained. Ambassador Carter, are you stating humanity created weapons of mass destruction for internal use? Among other things, Lisa confirmed, we excel at identifying problems and permanently solving them. A murmur ran through the crowd as one said, the Galactic Accords forbid any weapon of mass destruction designed for intraspecies warfare. Those accords were written by species that had already purged such conflict through natural selection, Lisa replied, her tone matter of fact. We never underwent that process. What do you mean? Most species achieve spaceflight only after achieving global unity. eliminating internal strife, Lisa stated. We achieved it while still actively warring with ourselves. A profound hush fell. You're saying, Vexi ventured, their voice barely a whisper, humanity developed interstellar travel while still engaged in internal wars. We developed it because of those wars, Lisa corrected. Most of our major breakthroughs stemmed from military necessity. Unprecedented, Ambassador Crick murmured. That's human, Lisa stated simply. We don't wait for evolution to solve our problems. We engineer our own solutions. But surely, Counselor Zephyr countered, upon reaching space, you unified your planet, resolved internal conflicts. Lisa laughed, a sound that echoed strangely in the chamber. We have 7 billion people, hundreds of nations, cultures, beliefs, systems. We've been trying to unify for millennia, and we're still working on it. We just figured out spaceships first. Chancellor Moran's breathing apparatus audibly labored. Let me be certain, he said slowly. Humanity developed weapons of mass destruction, achieved spaceflight, and joined the galactic community while still engaged in territorial disputes with itself. A fair summary, Lisa agreed. And you didn't deem this relevant to your application? Moran's voice dripped with incredulity. You asked if we were currently engaged in active warfare, Lisa pointed out. We're not. We're currently engaged in active diplomacy. The warfare is mostly economic these days. Economic warfare, Moran echoed, aghast. Trade disputes, resource competition, technological espionage, currency manipulation. Lisa shrugged. Normal stuff. Normal stuff, Moran repeated faintly. Every species has economic competition, Lisa acknowledged. We just happen to be very good at it. How good? Lisa smiled, a subtle enigmatic expression that sent a chill through the assembly. For half a year, precisely, we've held our place among the stars, within the Galactic Fellowship, and what a journey it's been. Having forged 34 robust trade partnerships and established diplomatic outposts across 12 star systems, we've also initiated preliminary talks for vital resource extraction in 7 key sectors. Remarkably swift progress, Vexi conceded, a hint of unease in his tone. Necessity fuels our ambition, Lisa countered, her voice laced with urgency. Earth's 7 billion souls strain against dwindling resources. Expanding our economic horizons is no mere aspiration. It's survival. Lisa's smile vanished, replaced by a chilling resolve. Failing that, we will inevitably seek a more permanent solution. A hush fell over the chamber, thick with anticipation. Perhaps, Chancellor Moon offered cautiously, we should revisit the terms of Earth's integration into our galactic alliance. An excellent suggestion, Lisa agreed, her words deceptively calm. For if humanity appears as perilous as some suggest— We're not suggesting, Lisa interrupted, her gaze steely. We're stating undeniable facts. Humans are, fundamentally, problem solvers. We excel at identifying and neutralizing threats, while equally adept at seizing promising opportunities. Our ultimate course hinges on the nature of our treatment here. Is that a veiled threat? Someone dared to ask. Simply a statement of truth, Lisa replied, unwavering. We came seeking peace, desiring to contribute meaningfully to the galactic tapestry through trade, learning, and mutual growth. However, should those avenues prove closed, Lisa's smile returned, yet devoid of warmth. Rest assured, we will find another path. We always do. A cacophony of voices erupted as delegates from 47 species voiced their collective fear and outrage. Amid the rising storm, Lisa Carter, Earth's envoy, remained a portrait of serene composure, calmly sipping her coffee, leaving the galaxy to contemplate the kind of neighbors they truly desired. The real negotiations, she knew, were just beginning. As dawn approached, Lisa Carter found herself captivated by the distant stars through the station's transparent walls, lost in thought when Chancellor Morton appeared. "The preliminary vote is in," he announced, gingerly settling into a chair. 7 species cast their votes, 23 for full membership, Lisa acknowledged, while 20 opted for restricted status and 4 favored immediate expulsion. She nodded slowly. The Cathara abstained, requesting a private audience before the final decision. Lisa rose, smoothing her attire. "Then we mustn't delay them." The communication chamber was smaller, more intimate. Cathbar's image appeared, though significantly less hostile than before. "Ambassador Carter," Cathbar greeted, "we have reached a consensus." "I'm listening," Lisa replied. "We will attend the summit. We will share the same space with a human representative." Lisa raised an eyebrow. Curiosity piqued. "What changed your stance?" "A profound realization struck us during deliberations," Cathbar confessed. "You inquired about the source of our fear. The answer is straightforward. We recognized ourselves in you." Lisa frowned, puzzled. "You represent what we once were, before our ascent as apex predators." "I don't understand." "Long ago, the Cathara were prey," Cathbar continued, "hunted relentlessly by beings far more formidable." "What became of them?" Lisa wondered. "We eradicated them, not through natural processes, but through sheer resolve, unwavering cooperation, and an absolute rejection of extinction." Recognition dawned in Lisa's eyes. "You solved the problem." "We did, and by doing so, we became the very thing we had once dreaded. Now, we stand before another species who defies its designated place in the natural order, confronting seemingly insurmountable challenges with a determination to solve them. The question isn't whether humans are dangerous. It is whether you will emulate our path, evolving into conquerors, dominators, beings who ultimately perceive every element as a threat." Lisa paused, absorbing his words. "If we don't, then perhaps we can forge a partnership that eluded us before." The weight of the word hung in the air. "The Cathara Dominion," Cathbar declared formally, "votes in favor of Earth's full integration into the galactic community, but with a singular condition." "And that is?" Lisa asked. "That humans never forget their origins, before their current potential. That you remain problem solvers, not problem creators." Lisa smiled, a genuine smile this time. "I believe we can manage that." "Good," Cathbar replied, "because this galaxy desperately needs entities who can offer solutions. As apex predators, we have long forgotten what it truly means to be prey. Now, as remembrance dawns, we awaken to a choice, to transcend the limitations of either prey or predator." The signal faded, leaving Lisa to grapple with the profound implications for humanity. Beyond the viewport, the cosmos shimmered, oblivious to the arrival of a new, potentially formidable player. Yet in the hushed comms room, a faint smile touched Lisa Carter's lips as she resolved to amend Earth's dossier. Under distinct talents, She'd pen, "Humans excel at resolution. Clarify definitively if you seek cooperative solutions or solutions at your expense." Ultimately, she understood the galaxy's future would hinge on that very choice.